What really separates a good manager from a truly great leader? Is it just something you're born with, or is it a skill that anyone can actually build? Well, that's exactly what we're going to dive into today as we break down the real, actionable steps to becoming a better leader. Right? This is the age-old question. We've all met those people who just seem to have it, that natural charisma, that confidence. But is leadership really some kind of genetic lottery? Or is it a code that anyone, and I mean anyone, can learn to crack?
Okay, let's just settle this right now. The whole idea that you're either born a leader or you're not, it's one of the biggest myths out there. The truth is, leadership isn't a trait, it's a skill. And just like any other skill, it's something you can learn, you can practice, and you can absolutely master.
So, if leadership is a skill, how in the world do we start building it? Well, we're going to break it all down into 3 core pillars. Think of these as the actual blueprints for building your own leadership style, starting from the inside out. The first pillar is all about your foundation. It's your character. See, before you can even think about leading anyone else, you have to be able to lead yourself. This is all about setting up the core principles that are going to guide every single decision you make. Everything, and I mean everything, starts right here with integrity. It's the absolute foundation. Without it, you can't build trust, and without trust, guess what? Nobody is going to follow you. It is the non-negotiable bedrock of leadership. People have to believe in you, especially when they think no one is watching. And that just perfectly sets up this next point. Your actions have to back up your words. General Patton famously led from the front of the tanks, not from some safe bunker miles away. True leaders, whether they're on a battlefield or in a boardroom, they show their commitment by being the first one in the trenches. They don't just point the way, they lead the way. So what happens when things go wrong? 'Cause they will. A real leader doesn't point fingers. They raise their hand. And you've got to understand, admitting a mistake isn't a sign of weakness. It shows incredible strength and accountability. It builds trust like nothing else, and it lets your team know that it's okay to take risks, and yeah, even to fail sometimes. Okay, so we've got our inner compass locked in. Now we're going to build on that foundation with our second pillar, people skills. This is where leadership starts to move outward. It's all about how you connect with, motivate, and guide the people around you. I absolutely love this piece of advice from the billionaire Mary Kay Ash. She totally nailed the fundamental truth about people. Leadership isn't about you. It's about your followers. When you make a real, genuine effort to see people, to hear them, and to value them, you unlock a level of motivation and loyalty that is just off the charts. Now, part of valuing people means helping them get better, and that sometimes involves criticism. The secret, though, is all in the delivery. The sandwich approach is an amazing tool for this. By basically wrapping that constructive feedback between 2 slices of genuine praise, you make sure the message gets heard without putting the other person on the defensive. All right, let's actually see this thing in action. Notice the key moves here. First, the conversation is private. It starts by telling James how valuable he is. The problem, being late, is stated clearly, but it's framed as a team need, not some personal attack. And it all ends with a vote of confidence. This fixes the issue while keeping James's dignity and motivation totally intact. It's brilliant. This same principle works for persuasion too. It all comes down to one simple question everyone is always asking themselves. What's in it for me? The ineffective way focuses on what you want, but the effective approach, it flips the script entirely and highlights the benefits for the other person. That simple shift is the absolute secret to getting people on board with your ideas. And that brings us to our third and final pillar, your strategic mindset. This is all about vision. A leader doesn't just manage what's happening today. They're the ones charting the course for the future and, crucially, inspiring others to follow them there. So check this out. A study found that people with written goals are a whopping 51% more likely to actually achieve them. The takeaway here is crystal clear. A leader has to have a clear, documented vision. Think about it. If you don't even know where you're going, how can you possibly ask anyone to follow you? And having a vision requires knowledge. You can't chart a course through territory you've never seen. This is why true leaders are lifelong learners. The more you know, the more confident you become, and the more credibility you have with your team. They need to trust that you have the expertise to get them through whatever challenges lie ahead. But here's the secret. A leader's genius isn't about being the smartest person in the room. It's about building the smartest room. Look at history's greatest leaders, people like Andrew Carnegie and Thomas Edison. They didn't try to know everything.
They surrounded themselves with brilliant minds because they understood that their own potential was multiplied by the team they built around them.
All right, so let's bring this all together. How do we turn all these ideas into a real action plan? Well, it all starts by remembering the framework we just built. We've completely shattered that old born leader myth and proven that leadership is a skill you can develop, one step at a time. Just remember these 3 pillars. It all starts with your character, your integrity. That's your inner compass. Then it builds outward through how you interact with and value other people. Those are your people skills. And finally, it's all guided by a clear vision for the future, your strategic mindset. Look, leadership isn't some finish line you cross. It's a continuous journey of growth. So as you look at these 3 pillars, I want you to think about your own strengths and your own weaknesses. Which one of these areas offers the biggest opportunity for you to grow right now? Because the journey to becoming a better leader can start today with just one single focused step.